No shot
don't want to
clock.
see Nagy back.
Oh,
You're gonna
No.
hate that. You're gonna hate that, Tommy. I've been saying it all
oh my
season,
God.
and it's not for losing the Super Bowl. I think there's a lot of other things
Well, yeah, you've
that
been saying that
go
all
on with
year.
that. I, Nagy will probably be back. I do not want him back as the OC. I think that there was a large mentality issue when he's at the helm of OC, and I think that came to fold in the Super Bowl after two drives.
And what
I
And
like
mentality is that? Can you elaborate on the type of
just gave up.
mentality?
Just gave up. I mean, there was no type of changes. There was no willingness of implementation of any sort of change. There was no holding players
Well, now when you say
accountable.
willingness, like take it easy. It's like we don't know if Andy Reid was like, "Fucking change this, Matt." And Matt was like, "Hell no." Like we don't know that. We don't know that,
Fair.
man. So the willingness thing, I'm like, maybe he was willing, and Andy was like, "No, I'll stick with it. Like they'll fucking figure it out, like they
It'll
always
turn
do."
around
That's
here soon.
No,
that's true.
maybe
That's
that's why
fair.
you guys didn't do anything different. Like maybe that's why, because like everybody on the sideline was like, "We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out." And now there's 3 minutes to go in the third quarter, and you're down 30 something to zero. It's like, fuck. I don't think we're gonna
But
figure this one out.
I'm not gonna leave Andy out of this mentality shift. I don't want Andy gone, right? But there has to be a change in with Andy as well.
Hmm.
You can't go into a game like this and just completely abandon a facet of the game. You can't go all pass and no run. Isaiah Pacheco had as many carries as Kenny Pickett.
When
That's
You know
did
how
he get into the
ridiculous that
game?
is?
When did Kenny get into the game?
Kenny
Hold
Pickett
on.
kneeled the ball. That was it. He kneeled the ball.
Oh,
And
he
he
was
had
in
as
the
many
victory
catching
formation.
attempts.
Oh,
That was
shit.
it. That was it. But he had as many technical carries as Isaiah Pacheco. You cannot run the ball two times in the first half at most. I think it was two times. And have the game be in the situation that it was. Your offense is only going three and out. You're running no time off the clock. You're not getting your defense a rest at all. There has to be a change there. And Andy has been shown in the past that he's not necessarily willing to change. There does have to be some changes that come from this, not only in players that we've talked about, but also there has to be a change in a little bit of the coaching.
There has to be some pressure taken off Pat, and I think um, just even establishing, being more committed to. I don't know if a change at running back is what's necessary,
We
but
need
like
a dynamic running back in the
so
backfield
more
so
focus on
bad.
the running game. And I loved
Bring
Isaiah
us Derrick
Pacheco
Henry.
before the injury, but do we think Isaiah Pacheco can be the old Isaiah Pacheco after the injury? It's probably it's not going to be worth
Guy helped you win a
trying a
Super
contract
Bowl,
with him.
dude.
We're gonna draft
So
a
did
different
Damian
running back.
Williams.
We're not gonna pay Isaiah Pacheco. Like Kansas City's not gonna
No,
pay Isaiah Pacheco. We're gonna draft a
as much
different
as
running
that
back.
sucks,
We're not. And
the life of a
you
running
know,
back.
we need some sort of refocus on the run game, and we still need a big athletic receiver, someone who can consistently get open or make catches that are tough. And Travis Kelsey isn't that guy in our offense anymore. You know, we need somebody on the outside. So pressure needs to be taken off Patrick Mahomes because he feels like he has to do it. And uh, as well as fixing the offensive line, there needs to be some upgrades at the skill positions.
It's kind of like
Um,
watching like a high school game yesterday. Like when like the guy the playing quarterback's clearly the best athlete on the field, and he's just like, "Fuck this, I'm gonna try and win the game myself." And then just like hits his like hits his hinge. He's like, "All right, nothing's there. I'm taking off." Like it's. I feel you though. Like, and that's what kind of why I said that is because like it seems like Pat's like, I have to go win the game all
I
the
don't
time.
know if I can necessarily agree with upgrade at the skill position. Like I agree. We can all agree that Travis is on his way out. Whether he comes back next year or not, like the number one is probably going to be Noah Gray, which I think everybody can agree that he needs to get more reps
Should
with the
be.
ones. And then Jared Wiley is going to be the next guy up after Noah Gray. And that's what they brought him in to be. They brought him in to be the next potential Travis Kelsey. Whether Travis comes back next year or not, that's going to be up in the air, but he needs to have his snaps ultimately reduced. I think missing Rashee Rice is a big piece. He's not that big receiver that you're looking for, but he is an X factor in that game. I think Xavier Worthy was one of the only
Oh,
players in the game to actually show up.
he
And
was
he
the only
wanted to play. So
worthy one
he's a
out
guy.
there.
Boo. Boo.
Know that, yeah, that's give that man fine. Uh
That was worth it. That was worth every
Rasheed
second.
will be back for a portion of next season. Don't forget that he's also still going to be most likely suspended for some portion of next season. So we are going to have to either bring somebody back or bring somebody in. I would like to see Hollywood Brown come back. I think that could be a factor, potentially on a cheap still because of the injury. I think we're going to compete for his signature, so we'll have to see what happens. DeAndre Hopkins can go away forever. I'm fine with that. Don't want him back at all. But I do agree, Tybo, that we're going to have to bring somebody in, but it's just specifically because Rashee Rice is going to miss some portion of the season.
No, hey,
Who
hear
knows
me
how
out.
long?
Hear me out now. We may or may not have a guy on our practice squad that some people are pretty excited about. He just needs a shot up there in the big leagues. Justin
He's
Ross.
not getting it. He's not getting it. We
No,
got to
he's
let that one
done.
go.
I'm
He's
tired
done.
of the I'm tired of
Excitement's
the
done
experience.
for.
I want someone definite. I want someone big. I want someone with a large catch radius. Like we've never like Travis
So did
Kelsey's
Kyle
been so
Pitts.
good for us that we've never given Patrick Mahomes like the ideal number one like a freaking AJ Brown. We've never given Patrick Mahomes the ideal number one receiver. We've given him the speed element. We've given him Tyreek Hill. We've given him Xavier Worthy, and we've given him good route guys: Juju Smith-Schuster, Hollywood Brown. Um, uh, I guess other guys. MVS. I'm maybe not the best route runner, but like
Sammy
mid-sized
Watkins.
guys with mid-sized guys with like just like not overwhelming like get off me type routes, you know?
Yeah.
Like they're not creating the best separation and just
You're not
snagging
like, I
balls
want that
everywhere.
guy one-on-one, 50-50 ball right there.
Right. We're not
Yeah.
we've never had that kind of receiver.
I don't think
And the
you like, I
problem,
honestly think though, from like the front office standpoint, like you've seen Pat win without that. Why do we need to go find somebody like that?
What
Is my
would you say
question
would
to you.
be
Why do you
for
think?
Pat?
Why
Well,
do
it
you
would
think
be
that?
the nail in the coffin. It would just shut everything down. Like I
I know,
mean,
but if you do that for him and then like you guys, like let's say you do that next year, you shell out a bunch of money to get your guy that you want winning 50-50 balls, but you can't re-sign your offensive line, or like you can't re-sign somebody on your defense or a few guys on your defense, and then that is another problem. Like
that's
if you shell out or sell out
we
for
end up
this
being
guy and you
Cincinnati.
don't win, like come on now.
and that's exactly where I was going to go with that is with the players that
I
we
didn't
have
hear
to
what you
bring
said,
back,
Tybo.
I said we end up being Cincinnati. But
with the
And nobody
players
wants that. I'm
at
a
the
Raider fan. I don't
positions
want you guys to be Cincinnati. Trust me.
with the players that we and positions that we need to bring back or fill, right? So left tackle, right tackle, you have to bring back Trey Smith. What are we doing with Nick Bolton? Justin Reed is probably gone, so you have to fill that. The safety role, what are we doing about tight end? There's so many. We're losing like I think 15 guys in free agency are currently going to be free agents, whether that's at a starting position or a backup role for depth. We're going to have to figure that out. We also don't have the room in cap space to really re-sign all those. I say Nick Bolton is a question because I don't think we're going to have the cap space to be able to re-sign him,
He's going to want a lot of money.
regardless of what the. I don't think it's going to be a lot of money, but because the middle linebacker market is very low. But given what he would still garner, I don't know
Like
if we have
for Nick
enough.
Bolton, bro, I think
Yeah.
Nick Bolton's market's a little bit different than everybody else's. I'll say that. Him, Roquan
I would
Smith,
agree.
like those guys, you're paying a little bit extra money for because that's the cream
Like
of
the
the crop.
guys,
Nick Bolton
Tybo,
did.
they.
He's
I was
putting
just gonna
himself
say,
in some like the tier of conversation with like Fred Warner and Roquan. Like,
Oh
he's,
yeah,
he's close.
I
yeah,
think at least
yes.
I don't know who would disagree with
We're
that, but
talking
like
we're talking more than 15
A lot
and
of
what
cheap
his
Oh,
market's
yeah.
going to garner. But Tybo, going after the names like guys that you want, right, that are accomplished, that would come in as number ones, are going to garner a lot of money in free agency this season. That looks like T Higgins, and then like he's the only one not having been injured, and he's going to garner quite a bit of money, probably staying in Cincinnati.
He
But
misses a couple games every season.
he does,
But
but not
I'm
injuries like
thinking
this.
drafting in the next couple of years. Like find the best receiver and make a
And
move to get the
I mean
best
that would be
receiver
your
out of the
best
draft.
option. That
Like,
would be
yeah,
that's the
like
best option. I
use
mean,
your first
Chris
round pick this year
Godwin,
on a fucking dude.
yeah.
the problem is
Or
That's the
make
other
make some
problem.
sort of move to go get that guy. Like we might not have the
We
pick right
have
now to get that guy.
Find a dummy to trade up with, like the Bills.
we have
The
one
Bills.
first round pick. We have no second round pick. We have 2/3 and 2/7. We've got 5 picks. We've got nothing else coming in.
Well, you got to make
We've
the best
got-
with those 5 fucking
We've
picks,
got
dude.
we've got 2 tackles that we need to get. You need to fill the middle linebacker. You've got to get a safety to bring in.
I think you can find a
Just
tackle
Jay
in the
Nix.
draft. You can find a tackle in the draft. I'm not
You need
concerned
depth.
about that.
You
Yeah,
need
We're gonna trade
You
one of
need to
those
bring
picks and get
in-
more late round picks.
halfback. And that's just a few off the top of my head there.
You don't like
in the
Carson? You don't
positions
think
that
Carson
we need.
Steele returns?
Stop.
Yeah.
The 2 main positions right there that we just talked about, left tackle and right tackle. At 31, you're not getting a starting left tackle. You're just not. You could probably find a right tackle.
Oh,
who
you
might be
can
ready to
find
go.
one, bro. You can
At
find
31, you're not finding
Yeah,
a
you
starting.
can.
We haven't. We haven't.
That doesn't
You're
mean
not-
you
you're
can't,
not
bro.
finding-
With that attitude, you never fucking will.
In year 1 as a rookie, you're not finding a left tackle at pick 31.
With that attitude, you won't, Ty Bob. Come on.
I
man.
forgot. We need Tommy.
Gotta be
at
positive.
GM.
I'm not saying
Head
that.
scout
I'm
Tommy.
terrible. I was terrible. Yeah, like take it easy.
Head
Fucking
scout
A.
Tommy.
No,
But
yeah, we
you
need
can
a
find a
scout.
right tackle, but we need to move up if we're going to get that left tackle position filled for next season. Because we're not
And
pulling
then-
them from free agents.
I don't know, dude. In the first round, you can find a decent tackle. Might not be your left tackle, but you can find a decent tackle in the first
Well, that's what I'm
round.
Yeah,
saying. We
that's
can
what we're
find a
saying.
right tackle, no problem. I can't find a left tackle. A starting left tackle at 31, it's not happening.
There's
there
some
has-
D2 guy out there who's just hungry as fuck that's gonna like willing to murder everybody.
Yeah,
he'll
let
be
he's,
ready-
he's
you guys
under
find guys
size,
like
but he'll
that.
grow into his frame. Okay.
Yeah, and he'll be ready in season 4 at the end of his contract. Great. That doesn't help us next year.
I think that is the difference between you guys and a lot of other teams, though. You guys are like, how do we fucking win tomorrow? And a lot of teams in the NFL are like, oh, in 4 years we'll be this.
Yeah,
and
we're not in
that.
It's
rebuild
long
phase.
shot.
Shut the fuck up. Yeah, it's like,
We're
get
not
out of
in-
here with that.
We're
But
not
like
in
every
rebuild
team,
phase.
every team has to think like that, though. How are we going to win today, tomorrow? Like, not in 2 years, not in a fucking year and a half. How do we win right fucking now? And that's
why
what
the
separates
Browns
you
have been
guys and a
bad
few
for
other
our
teams.
entire life. They can't figure out how to win today or tomorrow.
I mean, now is a better time than ever, right? The present is yeah, I don't know.
There's
Do you
there's
guys
a
get
lot of
back? Do you
moves
think
to
you
be
get back to the Super Bowl next year? If you make the right moves and everything?
Oh, 100%. Next year
Yeah.
we're going undefeated. No doubt in my mind.
made. Undefeated.
I
Heard it here
Can't
first,
knock you
folks.
guys for your faith. I tell you what.
Listen,
I
I,
have
got Patrick
to-
Mahomes, I got Andy Reid, I got Chris Jones. That's all I need. Get me back.
I have to see. I rather than go after the receiver that I was talking about. I have to see at least an upgrade at either tackle. Specifically, I hope it's left tackle. There has to be some sort of drastic move at the offensive line tackle position, and then I would be 100% confident we're going back to the Super Bowl.
We've
So
seen
it's
that we
really
can win
the
with
offensive
Javonte.
line. It's the offensive line.
Yeah,
If you can keep Pat clean,
Yeah.
he's shown that
You're
it doesn't
right.
matter, right?
You're right.
Pat
Yep.
couldn't stay clean, and there was no blitzes. We've seen that we can win a Super Bowl with Juwan Taylor at right tackle. So I agree with you, Tybo. That left tackle position needs to be addressed first.
please, pretty please, Matt or Brad Beach.
Ronnie Stanley?
How do we get that from Baltimore? How?
He's a free agent.
Oh, then yes.
We do not have the cap space to bring in another player.
Right.
The cap space is not there.
Veach is a wizard. He'll figure it out. Okay.
What about isn't the guy from the 49ers, even if it's like for a year, isn't
He
he a free
extended.
agent?
Williams? He
He
got
extended.
extended last
Oh,
year.
he just extended? Dang,
Yeah,
that's a
he
bummer.
extended.
What about someone from the Bengals? They have really good offensive lines.
Orlando Brown Jr. Bring him
They
back
have our
off.
they have our they have our second Pickens.
Or That Jets offensive line was great this year, wasn't it?
Why-
I mean,
Now
why
I'm
don't
just
you
throwing
worry
teams
about
under
the
the
Raiders?
bus.
Why-
I'm
Why don't
throwing
you
teams
just
under
worry
the
about
bus
the
now.
Raiders offensive
Hey
line?
man, why don't you fucking talk about them then, so we can worry about them on the show? Jesus Christ!
Nobody wants to talk about them.
Yeah,
Win some
no,
games,
you
then
don't
we can
want
talk
to.
about
Don't say nobody. You
I
don't
don't
want
want
talk
to.
about it. All right.
Win some games, and then we can talk about
Hey, yeah,
it.
no, that's fair. But don't say nobody wants to talk about them because that's not true.
Well,
All right. I see them on Twitter. They're out there.
we're talking about a few of the problems the Chiefs have to fix for their roster. Like you need an entire roster. You
No,
need
we
an
don't.
you need an entire
don't.
roster of football guys.
you
No,
need
we
an
don't.
O line, you need a
No, we
running
don't.
back, you need a quarterback. You have no receivers.
Your
We
team's
I mean,
have
one
a
thing you
receiver
don't
years.
need is
we have a
you
very
have-
good inside linebacker. So you watch your fucking mouth.
yeah,
Congratulations, you have
You're
Jacoby
covered at
Myers.
linebacker and defensive end,
And
you have
DBs,
one
our DBs
receiver.
are fine.
He just
dude.
wants to turn the
Jack
last
Jones
5
is
minutes
good.
of this podcast
Jack Jones
into
is-
a
we're-
Raider
we're
hate
doing fine.
spout. Like,
We're
just
doing
that's
fine.
fine, Tommy. The Raiders fucking suck, dude.
I mean,
Oh
listen, 4
yeah,
wins is not
where's
fun.
your fucking Super Bowl? You going to the parade on Wednesday, bitch? That's what I
When's
fucking
the last
thought.
time you were there?
Well, we're getting like
2000, 2001, something like
Yeah,
that.
you
Oh, yeah.
you
Mhm.
admitted on this show you don't even remember that Super Bowl. So
you were
Well, yeah, because I
twinkle in your
literally
daddy's eye.
fucking was too young to remember it, jackass. Like
You were a twinkle in your daddy's eye, dude.
I
I was
remember it
not. I was
vividly.
alive. You take it easy. I was
Brad
definitely alive.
Johnson, Warren Sapp, Derek Brooks, Rondé Barber. Yeah, it was a great Bucks team.